No love's world. Okay. Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I want to do a review of Hot Ones, the game show. Now, Hot Ones is, there's a YouTube channel called First We Feast. I've been watching it for a little bit, and I think someone introduced me to it, or found out about myself a year or so back. That this guy named Sean Evans does interviews with celebrities where they do like a gauntlet of hot wings with different sauces of different heat levels, starting off with maybe like 1,000 Scoville units going all the way up to 2 million, which is the last stab. In between asking him questions because he thinks like the heat levels will catch him off guard. And some people are cheerleaders to do it really well, like Charlize Theron, she killed it. And they have like a lot, and it's intimate. Like the Gordon Ramsay one's really good. It's very entertaining. And then I saw a trailer of the First We Feast. He said he's really excited they're going to be on Trutv, a game show called Hot Ones, the Game Show. And I didn't think it'd really work. I didn't know if it'd work or not. I didn't see the episode yet. I watched it today. I guess the time it premieres was Tuesday night at 10 o'clock at night. And I usually have to go to bed for work. You know, I don't stay up that late on the work nights. And then I was looking my on the digital cable through the guide and stuff like that, and they had reruns at 8 o'clock Friday, which is really cool. And this kind of coincides with another video I did, and I want to mention my friend Jonathan Edwards after I do a review of this. The show itself, like I said, the interview is very intimate and stuff like that. They have like a block of Hot Ones on True TV. Now, I stopped watching. Well, True TV originally was Court TV. And Court TV was really popular. And then I think they started saying like no camera allowed in the courtroom anymore because they used to have like trials. Like had like the Jeffrey Dahmer trial was on there, and they had like what's that, William Kennedy Smith or something like that was on there. I think that's the name. I can't remember. That was a long time ago, early '90s stuff. And then it got weird and stuff like that. They stopped showing a lot of court cases. Then they started showing the reruns of like cop shows of cops, or like cop movies like the Richard Crenna ones my dad liked and stuff like that. It was really weird. And then eventually became True TV, a thing with all these reality shows on there. Some were good. I mean, well, started watching eventually. They had shows like Lizard Lick Towing. I used to watch like Lizard Lick Towing, Hardcore Pawn, because I was a fan of Pawn Stars at the time. And Hardcore Pawn, they had New York Pawn with this guy. My dad hated New York Pawn. It was just such a tiny, tiny pawn store. Why did they do a show about that? It's so small in there. I think that show only lasts one season, but the guy was only on there saying, "Oh yeah, you mind?" like that. And then Hardcore Pawn, basically they just yelled at people. That's all it ended up being, you know. At least Pawn Stars was trying to be a little different, and then Pawn Stars started to get too scripted. Little Lick Towing, they don't have Little Lick Towing on there anymore. They had Bear Swamp Recovery, that's called Bear Swamp Recovery. Operation Repo was on there. I watched, and then they had something else, Miami Tow or something like that. My dad liked it. It was so fake. And a lot of those shows probably were fake, but they were still interesting. And then they did like a whole big overhaul of True TV, and they say True TV way more fun now. They changed all it, and it wasn't. It just, they put a bunch of shows on, didn't interest me all. They kept in Practical Jokers, which I hated because basically a bunch of smartasses that my sister was going out with a guy just like the people on Practical Jokers. I was like, it was torture enough. Well, he was okay sometimes. But putting up with 4 people like that in a show, I was like, I don't want to do it. And now they have a Impractical Joker movie. No interest in seeing it whatsoever. Jackass, the movies, those are fine. Those are good. Well, anyways, they got rid of all those shows except for Impractical Jokers, where I guess they show all the time. But I never cared for the show. And then like I said, I haven't seen True TV in a long time since they started doing it. I think they had a few more episodes of Hardcore Pawn. I don't even know if it's showing anymore. I stopped watching it. I stopped watching Pawn Stars because it became too scripted. Now, Pawn Stars also launched a game show called Pornography, which I thought was okay. I think it might last 2 seasons. It was interesting. Kind of dumb, but I mean, it was alright. I didn't think it was that bad. Christopher Titus will host it. Now, this show where they have the hot ones on YouTube where they interview someone more intimate. This one's like they taught like the Pepper Dome or something like that, and they have two teams of two people competing eating hot wings for prize. You can go up to 25,000. Now, before I go any further, people are saying you and John should try to go on the show. That's not going to work because John does not do spice at all. He had, and his stuff he said before on video on camera. I thought he was joking around at first. He said he had really bad acid reflux. It ate away his tonsils. I dissolved his tonsils. I thought he was kidding, but he wasn't. He has really bad. He doesn't eat like heavy tomatoes or anything like tomato sauce. It's he has. I mean, he doesn't do spice at all. I mean, he has like the little Greek pepperoncini maybe, and that's about it. When I got the tachos from, so I thought he'd be interested in doing it, but he said he didn't want to bother with the jalapenos. So, he wouldn't be able to do that. I know some people are going to say that. I would love to be on the interview show, the game show. Because I don't have anyone else that really does spice. They say, hell with that. I'm eating that shit. And then we'd be done. And they start off with like a 7 out of 10, a really heavy hot sauce. I can't remember, they didn't say the Scoville in the first one. And the second one was like 697. And they go up to like one that's like 1,000 or something like that. For like a few questions, and you get so many questions, and then the other person gets it wrong, the other team gets it. And what happens is you have to eat the whole wing, and whoever eats the whole wing gets that turn to answer a question, multiple choice question. And the show, like this guy, the two teams, and one guy was talking crap about the other team because the one guy threw up in a bucket real quick. And I know now this is where my friend Jonathan Edwards comes in. He commented on, because I mentioned, well, I don't want to give the one video where the Rogan video was about hot ones. Where's it at? Well, my buddy Jonathan Edward, 2010. I've known him for a long time. I watched the first show of the hot ones. It looked to me like some of the contestants' reactions were staged to add drama. They probably were. Shows like that are manipulated a bit for entertainment's sake, which I agree with. At the beginning of the show, a contestant barfed in a bucket. It's totally fake. I didn't care for the show that much. It probably was fake, but I mean, I think if he did, I think he might have done it for real, maybe. If he did, that was good strategy because he was good the rest of the show. I think going to a show like this where you eat extreme hot food if you have a full stomach is a bad idea. Because I've seen people eat hot stuff so bad, I mean, they throw up. I think that's why, I assume like a publisher would tell like a celebrity not to eat on a full stomach, not to go to hot ones on a full stomach. Well, I've seen like people like they had a show on Food and Harry Bikers where they went and ran a gauntlet of extremely hot stuff. It was a biker cooking show, only lasted one season. I remember guys were eating till they threw up, eating hot stuff till they threw up. So that was if that was real, that was a good strategy because he had a full empty stomach and he was doing all right after that. That's like when I was going to do like the Carolina Reaper beef jerky at my friend's house. So I made sure I have an empty stomach for it. And John looked at me with an empty stomach. Just in case I didn't want to throw up in this place. And I was afraid that would happen when I did the triple atomic wing challenge at Quaker Steak and Lube. Because I thought it was just going to be the regular atomic wing, 150, which I could deal with. And then this was like 3 times harder. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. But I did all right. My sister said, "Oh, you puking here." But sometimes that's happened. You have an adverse reaction. I remember one time eating a whole habanero pepper on a full stomach. I ended up throwing up. But I mean, they get to a certain level where you win where you get to go to this place where you can win $25,000. And you have to take a shot of this hot sauce, which includes like a combination of stuff plus the last dab, which is 2 million Scoville. It's really hot, a whole shot of it. And you have like a big ring of fire, one guy on one side, one guy on the other side, and in the middle they have like these 2 big milkshakes. And he said, if you don't win, you don't get the milkshakes. I assume like if you didn't win, you at least get the milkshake. You want to get the money. They let you have the milkshake. I don't see why they want it. But they said milkshakes for winners. But I assume that you'd have the milkshakes. You want to have the money though. Well, anyways, and basically they for a minute you have to do like the other person pantomime something, and then you have to guess what it is. It's like what's that $25,000 pyramid? 5 of them, and then if you can't get it, you have to pass. And actually, whenever they were getting close to the last minute, the last 10 seconds, and when he got the last one, I was like, "All right." There was a little bit of excitement, not much. I mean, the show's okay. I didn't think it would translate well. I think well into a game show. Interesting, but I mean, I think some of the reactions were fake, or sometimes the guy's trying to be funny on camera. They didn't really do it that much this time, but seen clips where some people are saying, "I want my mommy" and stuff like that. That's like so fake. I give it a mild. Give it a mild 6 out of 10. I might watch a few more episodes as long as they rerun them at 8 o'clock on Friday night. I have no problem. And then after it, they did a really cheap thing. They just showed a YouTube episode of Hot One interview with just a commercial in there, which I think is cheap. But I mean, Chris Evans is very proud. I don't blame him. I tried to branch out with the show. That's his thing. I think he does a good job in the interview. On the game show, it's all right. But I mean, like I said, he said, I think some of the reactions are done for dramatics, and I agree, because everything's scripted now. The throwing up might have really happened. He probably had a full stomach, just like when that girl on the news. That's why you have to be careful. If you're gonna do hot stuff, don't have a full stomach. It seems like the opposite of that one girl was drinking a latte and she did a 1-chip challenge in a newscast. She threw up a few seconds after. But I give it a 6 out of 10 now. I mean, I think it's cheap that they did show the episode of the YouTube video. I think the interviews is far better, if not far more better. Especially as the celebrity you're interested. I can watch I don't really know her that. I like the song Bad Guy. I gotta watch the Billie Eilish one. Eventually, she gave a really goofy face on that thing. I might watch that again. But, I mean, I saw the Will Ferrell one. And I've seen the Steve-O one. I mean, those are interesting interviews. I would love to be interviewed on the show. But like I said, I don't think no one would want to join me on that, because everyone's like, can't handle spice. My sister said she can't do spice at all. John might do a little bit. John wouldn't have done it with me. But I would more be honored just to be... has to be interviewed on the show, As far as the game show, not going to happen. And I don't know how long it's going to last on it. It'll be a flash in the pan for a little while. See what people think, but it's just a bunch of people like over-exaggerating, I think, sometimes. But that's what they want. When they come in, they're supposed to be high energy, though. That's what executives want, is high energy. Because I saw a thing about... I saw a documentary about Let's Make a Deal. Let's Make a Deal. And they said they're looking for people in the audience that are high energy, and then they usually invite them, or like Price is Right. They want a high energy people, bring a lot of energy to the show. They don't want someone like, "Hi, how you doing?" and stuff. You know what I mean? You can't be like real chill or something like that. You have to be real excited and stuff like that to be on the show. So I hope you like this review of Hot Ones, the game show. I give it a mild 6 out of 10. It's okay. I went rattling on because, it's about talking about hot, spicy foods. Hope you like the review, everybody. Till next time, please. Take care, my liege.